Happy Friday, everyone. I want to visit with you a little bit about the reversal patterns we saw today. The first one I'm going to talk about is gold. Then we'll look at ES. ES was pretty clean today. NQ did similar, but not quite as clean as ES. So I'm going to just focus on the ES. These lows right here in gold, we did a big rip down and we took them out after making all time highs again and then leaving relative equal highs up here. We took these lows out right there, stabbed them, went one more time, stabbed them again, came up, ran this liquidity, and then came back down and touched the breaker to the tick. That was at 5 o'clock this morning. I just happened to be up for reasons I won't go into. And you can see when we touch that, we pull away with a fair value gap right there. That's a beautiful reversal pattern right there, guys and gals. When we pull away with this fair value gap right here, I jump in and I'm aiming for these relative equal highs right here. I got nervous in this chop and I ended up killing the trade when we took that high right there. Because this one, as soon as we took it, we had a big pullback. And I was in a lot of profit, but we had a big pullback and we actually validated a breaker with fair value gaps to the downside. So I got nervous and I killed it. That's my exit signal anyway. So as soon as we took that one, I killed it. I did end up getting back in at some point, but I didn't hold it to all the way up here. It was just too choppy for me. I started watching the equities. I wasn't even paying attention to it anymore. But had I just left it, if I would have just, my original trade was there. Once we started heading that way, moved my stop to break even and put it up here and say, just let the chips fall where they may. This would have been a really, really nice profit, somewhere around $1,700 on a couple of micros. I still had a good day. I made $600 on the trade I took, and that was with pullback and everything. So not bad, but that is a beautiful reversal pattern right there. And let me point out the breaker real quick, and then we'll move to ES. So here is the lowest point. That what I call the breaker is the last green candle, up close candle on the way down. We use the up close. And so I just mark the top of it. That's our breaker. Fair value gap above it is right here. When we came back down right here, I just happened to click over to gold and see, oh my gosh, we came right back down to what appears to be a breaker. And then I marked the breaker and I was like, oh, heck yeah. Jumped in and rode that sucker. This one scared me a little bit when it pulled back like that, but I rode that sucker all the way to that high. So not a bad trade, beautiful entry, textbook reversal pattern entry. Now let's look at ES. I want to make sure we're just using, I can show you this high real quick. This is the overnight high, and we actually had a reversal here that I wish I would have been awake for. It happened at 1:20 in the morning, but we actually did have a nice one here as well. I can mark it out real quick. The last down close candle on the way up is right here. Yeah, right there. And so we kind of just hemmed around, ranged a little bit, pushed lower with a fair value gap, and we came down and we left this liquidity. Went back up, touched the breaker to the freaking tick. That's what I like to see. I wasn't seeing this for a long time, but that is exactly what I like to see. Touched it to the tick, and we pulled away. Not really, I guess you would call that a fair value gap. It's a volume imbalance, really. But that would be all I needed to see was right there and a pullback. But you can mark it in anywhere along there, and you can just aim for the most recent swing low, these or these. But it ended up falling completely out of bed and taking out this 4 hour low down here. Bam. And then ranged all the way through the pre market And then here we go to RTH. I'm just going to change this back to RTH so we can focus only on regular trading hours here. Okay, so regular trading hours. We open right here and we take out this 4-hour low, regular trading hour low from yesterday. I think it was yesterday afternoon. We push up, fail, we leave the liquidity, come back down, we make a higher low. Our breaker is the last up close candle on the way down. So it's this one. We leave this low, so we make a higher low, and then we pull away, tiny little fair value gap there. I'm in and I'm riding it to settlement. And that's what I did. And it went really nice all the way to settlement. Just no other opportunity to join at all. And I killed it. Once it got to settlement, I killed it. Then we pull back and we make another higher low here. And when this candle did not take that one and we had the fair value gap to the upside, I jumped back in right there. I figure at least I'm getting back to settlement, or maybe these highs here. But I just kind of let that one run a while. And where did we go? All the way up to the overnight high. This is actually the breaker that I had marked out on the overnight high here. But we went to the overnight high. We took it out by a tick. I'm going to delete that one so we don't have the extra line on the screen. And let's look at this reversal pattern here. So last down close candle on the run up toward liquidity. That's it. We ranged a little, pulled away with a fair value gap, wicked into it there. That's a good entry. And we aim right here. Bam, we got our liquidity. It's a real nice move. But we weren't done. We wanted to push higher, maybe go to these 4-hour highs. That's what I was thinking. But we didn't. We got up here and we started ranging. We took out this high, took out that high again, sitting on the breaker itself, and then we pull away with a fair value gap. Jump back in that sucker, aim for this low. We would have got it. Then we try again. Range. Try to go one more time. We actually are wicking into this fair value gap right here, but candle bodies are respecting it. And this is the time of day where things get a little crazy anyway. I did not take this trade, but I was watching it thinking, man, I should have taken that one. So there we go. Candle bodies are respecting that fair value gap. Wicks do the damage. Candle bodies tell the narrative. So they are respecting it. We ran that high, chop zone, and then we pull away with another fair value gap right there. You jump in, and where do you aim? The freaking breaker from this morning? Are you kidding me? We're going to go down there and touch that sucker? Wick into this tiniest of fair value gaps right here. Look at that. That's crazy. Look at that little bitty fair value gap right there. So we might as well have touched the breaker. I think I've got it right. Because it's so small, you can barely even mark it. But if we extend that out all the way to where that one came down, good Lord, I just need to hit extend right. Yeah. I bet you the candle bodies respected that sucker. They did. Wicks did the damage. Candle bodies didn't want to go any lower than that. So, beautiful reversal back to the upside. Where could you mark a breaker here? Right there. Look how everything respected it. Da, da, da. We went back up again. Didn't quite make it to that fair value gap, but almost. I don't know. Good algorithmic movement today. The two reversal patterns that I was most impressed with is when we took the overnight high. This one wasn't as clean as the one in the morning, but it was convincing enough. We've tried multiple times to push higher and failed. We pull away with a fair value gap. You can jump in and aim for there, at least. Just there. If you wanted to survive all this chop zone and just put your stop right above those wicks, you would have been fine to hold till settlement. That's crazy to me that we went all the way back down to that. I actually did take a long here just because we touched that sucker. But this one is the best one of the day, in my opinion. Open with a gap, leaving settlement as a clear target, the tiniest of fair value gaps, and then we just rip. We don't even have a single red candle all the way to settlement. That was a good trade right there. But you can see, nice. It's not a to the tick breaker touch here, but I use it as once we're above that, I feel pretty confident if we have a fair value gap above that, then I can go ahead and get in and at least aim for the most recent swing highs. And that's anywhere during the day that you see a reversal pattern. You can aim for the most recent swing low or the most recent swing high, and you will usually get it. Once it gets there, things get a little tricky. Might not go any higher, might rip lower. You never know what's going to happen then. But you can at least aim for the most recent swing high. Because settlement, I know, is a draw, that's what I aim for. So beautiful. There we go. Lock this thing into your head. When you see this pattern, mark out your breaker, use it as confirmation, use it as your fair value gap above that makes that high or low, fair value gap. We're heading to the moon. So grab a hold of it and just hold on tight. Put your stop below one of these lows here in the ES. That was only 5 points. And you had been good. You could have held that sucker all day and did a MOC sell off, but you would have been right here at the breaker whenever the day ended. No, we were a little bit above it, but you'd have made money. You just set it and walked away for the day, or put your take profit at the overnight high. You would have been fine too. That would have been a nice run all the way to there if I would have been able to hold it all the way to there. And that's where I actually thought it was going. I thought it was going up here, but it didn't go. So, yeah. 2 nice reversal patterns. 3 if you want to count that one. Good day. Good algorithmic type of movement today. Good pattern recognition there. Did well. I traded well. I actually got a free combine today from Topstep for the December snafu. I traded it. I also had 2 other combines I was working on and an XFA, and all total across all the accounts, about $2,000 worth of profit trading the smallest of size I could trade. I think I got a little bit bigger in one of my combines. I think I did